Hello and welcome to Greetingstar. I'm so glad you could join me today. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm here today to show you a couple cards I made. I love these sweaters, they're so cute. I made them with some supplies that I got from that Wishes set. It's the SCT sampler for November of 2022. It's a monthly subscription. And the pattern paper that you see here that I used to cut out that sweater comes from Fawn. And I used this die set from ZF Party on Amazon. I'll have all the links to the products I use down below if you guys are interested in getting any of them. But it cuts out two different sweaters and then also a lot of Christmas images like that snowflake and a candy cane and a sleigh and some presents and so on and so forth. Now the silver glittery paper I purchased at Hobby Lobby in store, and it's the Paper Studio, and I think it's called Glam Glitter or Glitter Glam, something like that. But again, you know, I'll list it down below even if I can't link it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the card together now, and this is some blue cardstock, and I embossed it with this embossing folder from Sizzix. It's a 3D embossing folder, and I think it's called Winter Sweater. But you can see the number there, and then I'm going to flip this over so you can take a look. Yeah, it's called Winter Sweater. So that's what I used, but you can use any winter die. You don't have to use this particular one, just whatever winter die that you have in your supplies. Okay, and then I cut out this silver paper background for my sweater with these scalloped, they're stitched scalloped rectangles by Dress My Craft. And I love them. They're so beautiful. I love that scalloped edge, and I love that stitched detail on the inside of the rectangle. So I'm just going to adhere this gorgeous glittery paper to my card base, which is an A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And it's Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. And the reason I like to use that heavyweight cardstock is because I'm putting a lot of layers on the card. Now I'm going to use some of this double-sided adhesive here. This actually came in the kit from Spellbinders. I used to subscribe to their monthly card kit, and so I had some of this tape left over. So I'm just going to use this to adhere it to my glittery cardstock. And I wanted to make sure that I burnished it down with my bone folder to make sure that I got really good adhesion. And now I'm just going to put the silver one on. So I hope you guys had a fun Thanksgiving, and I hope you had good success with your Black Friday shopping. Deals weren't really too great this year, but we tried, and we had some fun, so I hope you did too. Now this is just a piece of square paper. I actually just cut another piece of white cardstock with those Do Craft dies, and then I trimmed it on the inside of the stitched border so that way it would fit. And I think that white really helps the sweater, you know, it differentiates between the glittery background and helps the sweater stand out a little bit better. But I still wanted that glittery background, so I like that a lot. Now these are the elastic portion of your sweater that die will cut out for you, and so I just used some of the same blue color cardstock that I used in the background to help tie everything in so it would all match and look nice together. And I'm just adhering those pieces to the sweater. And this little die set is pretty versatile because you can do lots of different things with the die set. With this particular sweater one, it has an outer layer as well, so if you wanted to create like a sweater shaker card, you could do that. That's really cool. Now for this little snowflake, I'm attaching it to a piece of cardstock strip so I can manage it, you know, and maneuver it around in my trimmer here. I wanted to cut it in half because I'm gonna put the word Merry Christmas across the center of it, and I didn't want to cover up the snowflake so much. So if I left it as one piece, then the Merry Christmas would cover too much of it. So I decided to go ahead and cut it in half, and then that way I would have some room for that Merry Christmas, and you'd still be able to see a lot of that glittery, beautiful snowflake. So I'm just going to use my double-sided foam here. Now one of the little tricks that I have learned by watching other people on YouTube is whenever you have release paper, save it, and you can put your foam tape on it. And that makes it so much easier to cut and manage. If you just pull it right off, see I have a big roll of this foam tape, and if you pull it off of the roll and then try to cut it, it sticks to the scissors and it's really unmanageable. But if you put it down on some release paper first, then it's so much easier to cut and handle. So I learned that from I think it was Nina Marie Trapani. I think that's how you say her name. She does a lot of work for Simon Says Stamp. But anyway, it's a cool tip and I love it, and it's so wonderful to have those little things like that when you're crafting. It makes life so much easier. Okay, so I'm going to put that down on my card base. Isn't that so cute? I just love that sweater. It's so adorable. Now, the kit that I mentioned earlier, the SCT kit for November of 2022, it's, you know, you can't order that kit. You have to subscribe beforehand. But one of the great things is the supplies that come in the kit are still available. So you can get it on like scrapbook.com or amazon.com sometimes. Not always amazon.com. They don't always have everything in the craft world. But definitely scrapbook.com. And then later on, I'm going to make another card, the same style with different colors with pink and green. And I'm going to be using some supplies that came in this kit from Spellbinders. But this here, this Merry Christmas, I used this honeybee stamp set called Santa's Village. And you guys, it's on sale. I think it was $7 I paid for it. And then I think the die set was like $14 or $15. Maybe it was $10. I can't remember. But anyway, they're having some great Black Friday sales over there. Now, I decided to bling up my card with some of this faux snow. And so I'm just putting dots of adhesive down all over the card. And then I'm just sprinkling the snow on top. And that just, in person, you guys, it looks so cool. It's really neat. So there's a look at both of the cards. So for this second card, I'm using the pink and green pattern paper from Fawn, but that Happy Holidays tag comes from Spellbinders, and that was also in my kit. Again, I'm using an A2 sized white note card that I created myself with the Nina Solar White 110 pound. Now, I used a die to cut the scallop edge all around, and it's an old die. It's an Avery L. I think it's called Dotted Borders. It comes in the set. There's like 4 dies, but I don't know if it's available anymore. I've had this forever and ever. And I just use what I have to create in my craft room instead of just buying new things all the time. So I like to use the old things. And then the sweater die set came from Amazon. It's a ZF Party is the brand name, I guess. And I'm going to take some green cardstock and put that on the background. And then here's my knit pattern from Fawn. And then I'm going to adhere this sweater down. Just using some foam adhesive to pop it up and give it a little bit of dimension. And I like to put a lot of foam on the back of my pieces because I don't like it when they sink in. So I want to build a firm foundation for them. So I do use a lot of foam tape. Some of you may choose to use less, and that's perfectly fine too. It's just up to you and what you like to do. And then I decided I would pop up the greeting as well, so it would get just as much attention. Now those little presents that you see in the background, that was also in the sweater die set that I showed you a moment ago. Again, they have lots of images for Christmas, snowflakes and presents and a sleigh and a candy cane and so on and so forth. And then I'm just going to decorate the inside of my card with that same sweater pattern paper from Fawn. And then add those. I was thinking of adding those presents, but I decided to add 2 in the front and just 1 on the inside. And I think that looks really pretty. Now I die cut this out of white paper and just colored it with my alcohol ink markers. Just to match the sweater. Sometimes I can't get a perfect match, but that's okay. It still looks good. So that's that card. So I hope you guys had fun. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more of my videos that are upcoming. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.